Hey guys, welcome to the show. I want you to know that I tried to record this episode 3 times so far. I recorded the other night and then went to play it back, and it was like all blurry and weird. And so I had to have my boomer next door neighbor, my neighbor here at work, drill a hole and hook up an Ethernet cable. You don't understand how proud I am when I overcome technical obstacles. I swear to God, if this one ends up being blurry, I'm going to quit. You'll never see me again. Just kidding. I will say, I want to keep trying to practice. I want to learn this program and do good. Be good at this, because I actually like this a lot better than TikTok. I will say I like the long form better than TikTok. Sometimes on TikTok, I feel like I have a boss. Like TikTok's my boss. TikTok can be mad at me and take videos down. Although I will say they only take certain videos down. And it's always a great mystery, like why they took the video down. If you look on my YouTube page, I uploaded the video about Jeff Bezos that got taken down. I suspect it's because I said that Jeff Bezos might need a man BBL. I think sometimes they get a little weird when you body shame people. It's like, are you body shaming somebody if they've had so many enhancements? I think that I was kind of a little too snarky, but it's like, where's the line? Anyways, there's supposed to be all of these crackdowns coming on TikTok too. I don't know if you saw anybody's video about the community guidelines update. Although sometimes I'm like, this is just alarmist. I'm not going to get up in arms about this. It will probably be fine. But I do worry about TikTok, because I think it's been a little sketchy ever since they did that fake shutdown, in my opinion. Okay. So anywho, thank you for being here. I've been one day off this entire week. So it's been a weirdly fast week. Today is Saturday, and I did meet a couple followers this week, which is always interesting. Monday, I met somebody, and then I met somebody that's very much into the Karen Read trial. She was like, me and my husband have been following you since the Karen Read trial. She actually works across the street from me too. And she saw me get into an altercation with a deaf lady, this very, very crazy deaf lady, which I'll get into. But I like when when multiple members in a family follow me, because it's like, you guys like talking shit. I can tell. This is a family of shit talkers. Obviously, I am from a family of shit talkers, if you could not tell. So I always like when it's a family affair. This lady, we were chatting in line getting coffee, and this was in a different town than the town that we work in. And we were chatting about Karen Read, and then I was like, were you that lady that was standing there when I got into the argument with the deaf lady? Although only one of us was arguing, it wasn't me. There's this deaf lady, and the only reason I point out that she's deaf is because she's very difficult to understand, and she screams at a very high octave. And apparently one day she was mad I crossed the street, and she was yelling and screaming at me. She was talking to this lady, and then she started yelling to me. And so I went over to try to help her, because I was like, she might need help. And then I realized that she just was flipping the fuck out about me crossing the street. And I was like, oh, okay, peace. And I ran back across the street. And so I hadn't seen this lady. I hadn't done a follow-up with this lady. And I've been thinking I wonder if she thought I was the problem. I always do consider I might be the problem. I'm literally never the problem. And sometimes I do consider I might be wrong. It just turns out that I'm never wrong. But I do consider these things, which I would encourage. I think that more people need to question if it's them, because I find that most people just constantly think it's everyone else, and it's no, it's you. So anyway, she validated the whole situation. She's like, no, that lady's absolutely insane. So that's always nice. So today I want to talk about Taylor Swift, the Kelce brothers, Margot Robbie. Pete Davidson was on The Breakfast Club. I know everybody's dying to talk about Beckham and Nicola Peltz. I'm just kidding. No one's ever excited to talk about them. That's why I like them, though. They really, really want people to care about them, and just nobody does. And I like that. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, so I can turn this off, will you like and subscribe? I feel like I'm supposed to say that 432 times. It's like mandatory when you're doing a YouTube. So, all right, I'm assuming you guys are going to do it. So I'm going to turn that off. Anyways, what else? I want to talk to you about conspiracies. Oh, I want to talk to you about Rihanna. I'm going to add that in. Rihanna. Okay. I got something to get off my chest about Rihanna. All right, let's go. Let's get into it. Obviously, Taylor Swift was on that podcast. I thought about listening to the podcast, but it's like, I really don't want to. There's things like sometimes I'm like, oh, I should keep up on the Bravo show so that I can like talk about that. I should do this and I should do that. But it's like, it's really hard for me to consume garbage that I don't care about. Like Bravo to me is like over. I'll watch Salt Lake, but like, it's a good example of just like, I can't force myself into it. So unfortunately, I can't force myself into listening to that podcast, but this is by far my favorite cover. By far. And I mentioned it on TikTok. If you saw that, it's like, I'm just happy to see this girl's forehead. I don't understand why we always need those thick ass bangs and a matte lip. Like a glossy lip. This is like dewy makeup. I like the makeup look. Do I think the water is a little bit murky? I do. I think that the water is a little bit murky for my liking, but you know, beggars can't be choosers here. I'm just happy that we got one alternate album cover without the bangs. Why you need 4 album covers? We all know why she needs 4 album covers. Because she needs the parents of her fans to buy all 4 album covers so that their kids shut up. It's like the marketing and the money grab, it is tired to me. I don't like that now the Kelce family, who's the thirsty, they're one step up on thirst level from Taylor Swift, which like previously I thought impossible, but this family like collectively is the thirstiest family I've ever seen. And so now not only do we have to deal with these Taylor Swift rollouts, we're going to have to deal with that entire family, like just clawing to be in the spotlight and clawing to be in the spotlight by affiliating themselves with Taylor Swift. Like they also act like it annoys me. And like, this is the concept of the list and like why there's like a hot and crazy list and there's like a good list. It's because you can be crazy, but like just be authentic about it. Like that's all I really ask for. What really bothers me about that family is that they like pretend like they like hate attention. We're just like so normal. We can't believe we have all this attention. You have 14 podcasts. So like, what's the truth? I think the truth is that you love attention. The mom who she acts like, oh, I'm so shy. I don't like talking about anything. But then you're on Traders and you're on like the Today Show and you say yes to every single interview possible. Like you don't have to be famous. You don't have to be in the spotlight, but you're choosing to be. It's like, Jennifer Gardner, my number one enemy. I was like, oh yeah, oh shucks. I just happened to be on the street after the LA fires. And I just happened to run into all of these reporters. It's just like, enough. Jason Kelce, like, while she was like spewing that thing about like protecting her energy, this is like a Mel Robbins situation. Mel Robbins, that's like the let them theory. I don't think you needed a whole entire book on that. Okay. It's like, it's a pretty simple concept. Like Taylor Swift basically saying like, protect your energy and like saying it in a more a long-winded way. It's like, oh my God, she's amazing. She's a god. And it's like, all right, I'm happy that people are receptive to that idea that you need to protect your energy. Like, did I think that was like so profound? No, but whatever. What annoyed me about that was that he was screaming throughout it, Jason Kelce, because that's like his thing. It's very, very low hanging fruit jokes. He's the type of guy that dresses in a girl costume every Halloween. Like, those guys that are like the big buff guys, and then they're like, it's a big joke, and they go and they buy like a nurse uniform that's like made for a girl, like it's a girl Halloween costume, and that's like the whole joke. Like he's that type of guy. Like he's the type of guy that wears like the American flag suit on the 4th of July, and it's like, oh, Jason's here. I'm sure he's gonna like crush a beer can on his head. It's just, I understand her desire to be this like super couple, like this, like, like a Jay-Z and Beyonce type couple. But it's like, this is the guy that you chose to do it with, which I saw a TikTok that was very interesting. That was basically like, she's running out of people to date. And so like this guy's he's going to cooperate and let her be in charge and let her team be in charge. And I'm sure that team's going to be managing him if they're not already. It's all it feels as though it was created in a boardroom type of thing. Do you know what I mean? And people say like that they think, oh, you should have like watched, you should have watched that podcast, saw how they looked at each other. It's like, I think, excuse me, I think he looks at her and he sees clout and money. And that's not to say that he doesn't like her, but it's all very convenient, isn't it? Anyways, Jack Anatoff, who is usually her producer, writes all the songs with her and whatnot, not on this album. Very interesting. He seemed pretty annoyed with her during, I'm calling it the Dead Poets Society. I didn't mean to call it the Dead Poets Society when I made a video about Taylor Swift, but I'm calling it that for now on because it annoys the Swifties so bad, and I think it's so funny. Because that name was too long and it was too stupid. That whole era was a mistake, if you ask me. That was like a desperate, like, she couldn't handle Beyonce having attention, so she put out that album, and I felt it was like a little bit hasty. Anytime that you have so many songs on an album, I'm like really not interested in the album because you don't know how to edit yourself. I am happy to see that she has 12 songs on this album. That's appropriate, okay? The Migos came out and had like 35 songs on an album. Weird because all of their songs sound the same anyways, but I feel like that kicked off some weird thing where it was just like Drake does it. Just you don't need that many songs on an album because there's just no way that all of them are good. It's just how I feel about it. Anyways, Margot Robbie, who people say doesn't like Taylor Swift, and that is based on different videos of them. Videos of her seemingly like rolling her eyes and making fun of Taylor when she dances like an idiot while other people are performing at award shows. And like, think about it. Why she married Jack Anatoff? I don't know. She's very pretty. We'll watch the video, but imagine that is your husband's like work wife and like your husband's like work partner, Taylor Swift. Like it's exhausting just thinking about spending like one night with her, let alone these album cycles where they're together all the time. So anywho, she's promoting a movie. I like the idea of her. I don't know much about her. I don't love that she's a Nepo baby, but that's what we're stuck with. Those are the only people that they make famous nowadays. I like the idea of her because she seems like she actually does care about acting, and she's not in my face. She doesn't seem to want to promote her personal life. She comes around when she needs to promote something. She looks very pretty. She has great style. And then she goes away. That's all I really ask for. It must be irritating that anybody that's affiliated, some of these people like it, the people who are affiliated with Taylor, and they constantly get asked about her. Somebody like Margot, like I can't imagine that she likes it. And we're going to watch this video and you see what you think.
Who, of course, has produced with Taylor for years. Perhaps you heard she's got a new album that's coming out. Can you tell us anything about it?
I don't know anything, but we'll all be excited to listen to the music.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Oh, let's watch it again.
Her husband, Jack, who, of course, has produced with Taylor for years. Perhaps you heard she's got a new album that's coming out. Can you tell us anything about it?
I don't know anything, but we'll all be excited to listen to the music.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Oh, I love the okay. Yeah, she doesn't seem to be about it, and he seemed annoyed too, because like I said, there was the video where she seems to be making fun of her with Jack, and Jack like looks over and he's like, yeah. And then you remember Taylor was giving him like knuckle sandwiches during the Grammy Awards. It was bad. That was the one where she like pulled Lana up on stage. And people were like, she didn't win any Grammys. And I keep telling people in the comments, she did for the Dead Poets Society. They're very upset about it. It's very funny to me. All right, should we talk about Pete Davidson? Pete Davidson was on the Breakfast Club. He's talking about the big dick energy stuff. He's talking about the way that he's treated in the press. And here's the thing about Pete Davidson. Do I think that he's kind of an idiot? Yeah, I do. Do I think that the way that he is treated in the press is sad? I do. So let's watch this and then we can discuss.
Like trendy thing unintentionally. And also I was embarrassed by it, like, because now it's started to change a little bit, but no one talked about any work I was doing. They were just like, oh, that's the, stick.
Yeah.
And like that hurt so much. So like, and they saw, I think after like a year or two, everyone saw how sad I was about it and embarrassed. Because like I was never on Instagram, like, flexing that sort of lifestyle at all.
What were you embarrassed by though? You was banging a lot of hot chicks and people knew you had a 10-inch penis? Like what?
On paper, that sounds great.
Right.
But it's embarrassing because, first of all, it's Hollywood. Everybody, everyone.
Yeah.
Everybody's dating everybody. Why are they focusing on me? It's because I'm not Glenn Powell handsome. I'm just this like dude that tells dick jokes that is a drug addict. So it was like it was like
what is it?
It was like what? Yeah, and it had nothing to do with comedy, and like also like that stuff affects relationships.
Where did that start? Like who started that rumor?
It was I think it was like the New York Times or something when I started dating someone that I guess they considered out of my league, which I think everyone is out of my league, but they were like, this guy must have big energy. And then and then someone confirmed it, and then it was just like
Who confirmed it? I don't remember.
They'll figure it out.
So I want to show you this picture too that was included on this article. Like, this was such a good time. This was a really good time in history. This is why we really have to appreciate when funny stuff like this happens and funny pairings like this happen, because, you blink your eye and you're dealing with this version of Ariana, I do think that relationship was detrimental to Pete Davidson's career. It catapulted him into like being very, very well known. Like before that, people sort of knew about him, but like once Ariana left Mac Miller for him, there seemed to be overlap there. He kind of skyrocketed. And then of course people were talking about his looks, the butthole eyes, like all of that stuff. I think she also was like so used to playing the game, like the PR game. And she was a much bigger celebrity. And so she kind of used that whole like big dick energy and like licking the lollipop and all of that stuff to promote herself without realizing that it was going to be detrimental to him. And obviously, or not caring maybe, obviously, then Mac Miller died and that caused a lot of tension with that relationship. And then they inevitably ended up breaking up. I mean, they went from 0 to 100 in like 10 seconds anyways. And obviously he's alluding, like she was the one that ended up like confirming that he had a big dick. Somebody asked her like, how long is for whatever reason, I remember like somebody on Twitter was like, how long is Pete, like meaning the song? And then she was like 10 inches. Oops. I mean, and that was when she was like, sexy baby. That was when she was doing the sexy baby thing. So yeah, then after that, like I do think that he definitely like added fuel to the fire when he dated Kim Kardashian, because I do feel like that was certainly like a setup relationship. That was like a PR relationship. And when I say PR relationship, I don't mean that like they might have like actually liked each other. Like I think that they probably like enjoyed the time together, but it was definitely like a setup relationship in my opinion. That was the beginning of the end for Kim, by the way, because it was like so obvious and it was so corny. Now that I think about it, he also got like the kids' names tattooed. So it's like he definitely like adds gasoline, but I think part of it is that he's got mental problems that he's talked about. He's also a tattoo guy. Okay. tattoo guys are obsessed with labeling themselves. Okay. They're obsessed with how they look to other people. They're obsessed with their image, and they think about themselves way too much. Okay. And what other people think of them. So I could imagine that kind of pressure, talking about anybody's looks is like difficult anyways. But like, then when you're like a tattoo guy, you have these mental issues, like you've been catapulted into the spotlight, and then dumped. Like it must have been pretty tough. And then remember when he was dating Kaya Gerber and that whole thing, like where the paparazzi caught her parents outside, like talking about him and how he was like scratching his eyes out. Do you remember that? That was crazy. Anyway, all this to say is that Pete Davidson's a tattoo guy. They're very, very insecure. There's different levels to tattoo guys. He takes himself less seriously than some. The tattoo guys that take themselves really, really seriously are the ones that have like one style tattoo. Like they decided like, this is going to be my look. Like Sailor Jerry guys, Sailor Jerry tattoos, like those, that goes for men and women. Those are people that just decided like, I want that look. I want to be like that version of a tattoo person. Whereas Pete Davidson's more like, oh, I'm an idiot that just gets stupid tattoos. Some people grow out of that. Like obviously he's growing out of that. He made this whole thing about like getting rid of his tattoos, which was weird because made this whole thing about getting rid of his tattoos. Then he was in a campaign with Reformation where it was like, oh, he's like everyone's boyfriend or like whatever the campaign was. And he had no tattoos. And then there were paparazzi pictures of him with the tattoos. So it's like, listen, pick a fucking lane. He does talk in this interview about the tattoo removal process, which I talked about in the TikTok. When I got a couple tattoos, like look at this stupid one. I was looking at it today. It's all blurry. When I got them, I was like, I'm just going to get like stupid black line tattoos because I know eventually I'll want to laser them off. I did not realize how many times you have to go to get tattoos lasered off. So he does talk about that. He's like, you have to like get it all burned off and then wait 6 to 8 weeks and then go get it all burned off again. You have to go 1,000,000 times. So that's going to take a long ass time for him to get rid of those tattoos. But I am happy for him. I hope that him and this girl that he's been dating for 5 minutes are going to make it work now that she's pregnant. I feel like she was like 4 days pregnant and like announced it. It was a little strange. Speaking of pregnancy, I'm sorry, but I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. I've seen her stomach like this out for, was it like 4 years? Like, I get it. I don't know. Rihanna is annoying to me at this point because it's like, you're not producing any music. Like yes, you are hawking, the Fenty stuff in the lingerie that was like a scam that made her the $1 billion, in my opinion. And now she's just like pregnant. She's just famous for being pregnant all the time. And I've said it 1,000,000 times. If you want to be out and about and getting paparazzi photo shoots all the time, I want you to at least be producing something, which, okay, you're not. Okay, at least look good. And it's like, ever since she got rid of the stylist Mel, I don't know if you guys remember her stylist Mel, like she doesn't dress well anymore. I'm sorry. Like it's the point of this. You called Backrid for this. It's like enough. And I'm not big into ASAP Rocky. I'll tell you that much. You know how they say that, when you have a girl, the girl steals your beauty. Like, I feel like there is some sort of urban legend, like, about ASAP Rocky. It's like, you get pregnant by him, he steals your beauty. Like, why is he is like out more. He is like more fashionable and takes better paparazzi shots than Rihanna. Like, I don't think that that's good. I couldn't stand when Rihanna did the halftime show and people were like surprised it wasn't good. It's like, Rihanna has been a lazy performer for a long time. And now she doesn't even do that anymore. So whatever. I did want to talk briefly about these two. They renewed their vows after 3 years. They want people to care about them so bad. And they're just so painfully boring. And like, it just, uninteresting, but they keep trying. And I love that. Okay. So I'll give them a little bit of attention. So he is having this feud with his family, which is hilarious because his family like doesn't give a shit. Like his family is just like continuing on their family vacations. They're hanging out with the girl that he wanted the brother to break up with. Like his brother was dating some girl that he briefly dated. And like that was part of the feud, is that they were like mad that the brother was dating like one of Brooklyn's ex-flings, which I sort of understand. Because like if you're Nicola, it's like that's a little bit fucking weird. I think anybody that dates brothers is fucking weird. I know somebody who did that, and like me and that family talk shit about it all the time because like what a crazy move. There's a million fish in the sea. You have to date brothers. Anyways, they ended up breaking up, but there's still a feud. Apparently it started at their wedding. And I read something about Mark Anthony performing. Imagine you're like a billionaire and you got Mark Anthony. It's kind of random, but I guess Mark Anthony went up and he started this like whole speech, and it was like supposed to be about Nicola, and then at the end it ended up being about Victoria. And there was something to do with like Victoria and like the first dance or something like that. Like Victoria cut in on the first dance and like Nicola went like running out the door. But that particular wedding was cursed from the beginning anyways, because they went through 3 wedding planners. If you guys remember, the first one was Preston Bailey, which he's like been the guy for like 30 years. And he pulled out at the last minute and was like, oh, I'm just like overcommitted. AKA you guys are not worth the money. I don't want to deal with you. And then they got the second group there were 2 girls, 2 wedding planners came in, and they ended up, it was either Nicola's dad sued them or they sued Nicola's dad, or they countersued each other. And they ended up like releasing the text messages with like Nicola and her mom and the wedding planners. And like Nicola and her mom were like trying to hide like the cost of like getting their hair and makeup done from the dad. And it's like rich people like that are so weird. It's like you're worth $1 billion. Like, does that really matter? It's very, very strange. So anyways, then they got like a third wedding planner, which was the one that like actually ended up producing the wedding. But yeah, so they're desperate to get some press about this. And then I guess one of their friends like wrote in some Instagram comments and was like basically saying that Brooklyn's family is toxic, which like, who cares? Who cares? If you're marrying into that family, like you should just automatically know that you're going to be number 2 to Victoria. Like, are you kidding me? Just be happy to be there. I would be so happy to be like traveling around with them. Like be as toxic as you want. I don't care. I mean, I could be with my own toxic family. I don't think Nicola's family is perfect. Okay. Do you remember like the first I ever heard about Nicola is that like there was like a blind item that she used to like push her nannies down the stairs. Like I doubt that they're the most functional people either, but it's like David Beckham is your fucking father-in-law. Like just enjoy that man in a bathing suit. Go on the yacht with them. This is fucking ridiculous. But I do love that they're just like whatever. Like the Beckhams don't give a fuck. Here's the other thing. I swear to God, there should be like, the hot crazy chart. Like there needs to be a chart that measures like the more cool and rich and like down to earth the parents are, the lamer the kids are. Like I have noticed this. It happens like 9 times out of 10. Is that like I like will meet somebody's parents and be like, they're so fucking cool. Like I vibe with them majorly. Like they become my friends or whatever. Usually this is they start as clients. And then I'm like, damn, these people are so fucking cool. And I'm like, I wish, and then I hear about their relationships with their kids. And I'm like, damn, I wish that like I had like really nice, cool, generous parents growing up. Cause like my parents were just like, we were just working class, whatever. And my parents are like mega boomers, they've been hating on me since day one. So sometimes I'm like, damn, it would be so nice to have like parents like this. And then I meet the kids and I'm like, damn, it's a dud. It's like there's like, they never had the opportunity to develop a personality because they never had any struggle in their life. Like they had nice ass parents that like gave them whatever they wanted. And so I'm always like, damn, I'm happy I had hater ass parents. Cause like I wouldn't want to be like Nicola in Brooklyn, like desperate to be interesting and like you produce a photography book and this is what you produce. It's like insane. And then he's like, oh, it's hard to photograph elephants. Like, is it? I don't know if it's that hard, but that's the problem. It's like sometimes rich kids, it's like the more opportunity they have, the more they fumble. Like you have funding to start any kind of business you want, or you have money to go to any kind of schooling you want. And then it's like, then you're producing this. It's fucking crazy. Anywho, I think that's everything that I had for like celebrity stuff. I want to do a portion of the show that's called Social Terrorism, where I talk about things that society is being terrorized by, and like things that I just like don't understand and want to speak out against. Okay. Why are people wearing eye patches and pimple patches in public? Why is that like a thing now? I've noticed it all summer. I'm like, the other day I literally saw a lady wearing two like eye patches in the morning. Like nobody's bags are that bad that you couldn't just like wear. I guess if you need to wear them in the car, but you're like actively wearing them into businesses, like, it's ridiculous. I assume it's like for attention. And again, like surely you can find like something else to get attention for. I don't know. Learn how to do something on YouTube and then talk to people about it. This is crazy. Slapping on some eye patches and then the stars, the pimple patches. Number one, I think you're an idiot because I don't think pimple patches work. I don't think the pimple patches work. Okay. Again, I think that it's mostly for attention. I've never looked at someone and like really noticed a pimple that like stayed with me. You know, I wasn't like, oh, that person has a pimple on their face and then ever thought about it. I don't know. But I do think about somebody who has a big, stupid pink star on their face. Like my waitress the other night, like face full of stars. I think that that's very, very strange. I also want people to stop telling me to normalize things. Let's normalize this. Let's normalize that. Why don't you just focus on what you think about things and stop trying to tell me what I should think about things? I'm not normalizing anything because you told me to. I think we need to normalize less things. Don't normalize wearing pimple patches in public. Don't normalize dressing like a slob all the time. There's a million things I could list off that I don't think that we should be normalizing. Don't normalize Cardi B. I can't stand Cardi B. Sorry, it's like we've normalized too much. Her new song is so bad. Her new song is so terrible. And I've been thinking, like, is she faking a pregnancy? Like, she's very desperate for some press. Sorry to backtrack to the celebrities again, but I don't want to normalize Cardi B. I think she's desperate for press for this album that's like, it's definitely going to flop. And I can't wait for that. I don't think that we should normalize WAP. Okay, that was a real stain on society. I also wanted to touch base about this water glass. I don't have mason jars because they're trendy. I actually hated that trend. I got them because I was going to make chia seed pudding overnight. I was like, I'm going to be healthy. I actually just like the taste of chia seed pudding with like coconut milk. Yeah, coconut milk, whatever. It didn't last. Okay, but I did buy a bunch of these mason jars. And I was like, it's a great vessel for water. Okay, I can bring this with me in the car. I have a million of them. They were cheap. Why do people need those clanking ass water bottles? My friend texted me and was like, I listened to your YouTube while I was weeding, and I can't agree with you more about the clanking ass water bottles. She's like, I've called them that ever since you made the TikTok about it. And first of all, I love when people agree with me on things because it makes me feel good that like I'm not alone, because I'm like, where are we going as a society? There's so much stupid shit happening. So when I complain about the stupid shit and people are like, yes, I'm like, thank God. I think people are just scared to speak up. I'll speak up. I don't care. But it does make me feel good when people are like, yes, because why do you have that huge, ridiculous water bottle everywhere? Why are you bringing it with you everywhere? Why are you so dehydrated that you need to walk around with that huge fucking thing? It's making so much noise, dropping it and shit. And then the worst ones are those, like, what are they? The Waterloo, whatever the hell they are. The ones that you suck out of the top like a little baby. Like you're a grown ass person and you're sucking out of like a fucking baby bottle as far as I'm concerned. Why don't you just drink out of a glass? Like a normal fucking person. I just find it hard to believe that everybody's that dehydrated. Even on podcasts, it's like, why is your screen being half taken up by this fucking Stanley? And anybody that has multiple Stanleys, oh my God, these are definitely the people that like think that we need to be like, we need socialism. It's like, oh, I hate capitalism. We need socialism. It's like, you have 15 Stanleys. It's like the Labubus. Like, I just can't take these people seriously. Anyways, I have to go out tonight. I'm very upset. My friend's in town and I have to go to a bar to meet her. And I'm just like, I'm so happy not to do anything. I really am. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go places. I really, really don't. I don't want to travel. I don't want to go out to bars. I feel, and I hate to be like this, but I was thinking about it today. It's like everything sucks after COVID. You know, like restaurants are really not good. Like the vibes are off. But she's in town. I got to go do it. You know, I'll check it off the list. I won't go out again for another 2 months. But anywho, I'm hoping that this was successful. And then I can be happy. I can move on with my life now that I have an Ethernet cable. I do recommend finding like a boomer men. I know boomers get a bad rap, and I agree with a lot of it. But there's subsets, just like any group, there are subsets. I'm very happy to have a boomer man that's like very helpful. I mean, you know, he shows me a lot of things on his phone I don't give a fuck about, but whatever. He drilled the hole for me. He hooked up this Ethernet cable. So hopefully we're on the up and up here. So thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Should I do the thing? Does this motivate you? Look at that. I'm going to get better at this. I'll show you all sorts of stupid different things. Look at this. Breaking news. Anyways, like and subscribe. Let me know what you want me to cover. Okay. I want to get good at this. I really do. So I'm hoping to do it like maybe 3 times a week. And I do want, like, when I get enough subscribers, I think we'll do a live, which will be fun. Cause I like when people are asking questions and stuff and we can chat about things. Okay. Anywho. All right. Bye. Imagine I gave a peace sign.